Hello, I'm Claire Morgan, and I'm just going to say a little bit about what I've been up to for the past few weeks. So, these works on the wall behind me are pretty much finished. They're part of an ongoing series that I started, it must be about a year ago now, whenever I started working with raw pigments. Um, Raw pigments are amazing. And the properties of the materials and the processes that I use are sort of as important for me as the end result in a way. The act of making and the act of being almost forced to be fully present in the moment is really kind of exciting. And using materials that have intentionally got a degree of unpredictability sort of forces me into a position where I've got to make careful and spontaneous choices at the same time. So yeah, the end result isn't always clear, and I think there can be a real power in that lack of certainty about what the outcome is going to be. Part of the process of these works is using dead birds actually. My drawings started out as part of the taxidermy process, taking measurements of the animals and so on, and then as I started moving animals on pieces of paper, I became quite fascinated with that process, and it sort of led somewhere else. And so with these drawings, the kind of shadows of birds are in positions where the body of a real bird has actually been, and the kind of the traces have been created by a real bird. Which has died of natural causes. I've been preoccupied with gravity for years and years now, with falling, the act of falling. I think again it comes back to that idea of process and unpredictability, and that's something that's significant is in life as well as in making art. For me, that kind of lack of control that we have over gravity relates directly to life and death, I suppose, in particular death. And that might be interpreted as something dark or negative in my work, but I think in a way that tendency to misinterpret it is almost my point in a way. Everything's changing constantly, and death is going to come, and there's nothing that you or I can do about that. We can try and steer things in one direction or another, but ultimately the outcome is the same. Whenever I choose to ignore that change, I find that I kind of forget to notice all of the beauty that's around me as well. And so I want to make a conscious choice to remember to see that beauty in things, and to appreciate what beauty is there while it's there, because things won't always be there. Everything's changing, and the situation that there is today isn't always going to be here. Everything, as we are learning, can change totally unpredictably at any time. And so in a way I think there can be a really strong positivity coming out of that exploration of the fact that everything's temporary and constantly changing. I have also been making ceramics, like these horny things. They kind of seem to be of an animal, but I think probably they relate a bit more closely to how how we see or how we have seen the animal or the other, rather than relating to a specific creature, if you see what I mean. I enjoy how the clay is quite sensual and tactile, both in the process of making it and afterwards, and the forms are also quite violent, both in this obviously violent shape and also this end, which kind of appears almost as if it's been torn out of something. I have the idea to make hundreds of these, and they will come to form an installation or part of an installation, but I can't say just yet what exactly that will be. So yeah, I find this kind of violent beauty and frailty is everywhere, actually, and in particular with my new paintings and drawings, I'm trying to introduce quite joyful colour and movement and texture as a way of kind of discovering or rediscovering that beauty that there is in things. So I'm currently working on ideas for a solo exhibition at Galerie Karsten Grave in Paris, which will be in 2021. It seems like quite a long way off at the moment, but time moves very fast, and as we have discovered recently, everything can change very, very dramatic. The world's quite a strange place at the moment. I'm trying to be not too scared or distressed by that. Trying to find a healthy balance between what's going on in the world around me and what's going on inside my own head, and making things very much helps with that. I hope everyone else is safe and staying indoors too, and hopefully we will see each other out in the real world when we're allowed to go in it again.